So once again,
Mute.
it's called Moorish Paradigm. It's a series. This is book 3, and the author is Hakeem Bey. Um, I'm not gonna go through the preface. I'm gonna get straight to the contents. So Moorish theoretical science. Then this is a definition from Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, and it has the definition of Moorish, and that is of the Moors, their culture, and the style of the Moors. So, like when you hear Polish, right,
Mm-hmm.
of the Poland people, right? So Moorish would be of the Moors, right? So
Right.
science, the systematized knowledge derived from observation, study, and experimentation. What do we mean by Moorish science? First, let us define each word. According to these definitions, Moorish science is the collected and systematized knowledge and facts of life and nature based on the observations, studies, and experiments of the Moorish civilization, past and present. The reason I say past and present is because the present civilization as we live in is the Moorish civilization, only presently under the custodianship of the European Masons. It is our job as Moorish scientists to go back and rebuild the collected and systematized knowledge of the Moors, adding new insights and eliminating the false notions and philosophies that have crept in over the last 500 years. Moorish science is based on 4 broad areas, which can be symbolized by the 4 elements of man, nature. These 4 elements are earth, air, water, and fire. Fire, spiritual science. The spirit is that which motivates man and nature to do all that which they do. The spirit exists and motivates man and nature to action from the incorporeal realm beyond the realm of the so called physical world of space and time. The spirit is the basis of everything in the physical world. It is the cause of causes. It is the hand that fits perfectly into the glove of nature. Thus, the study of the spirit is the study of the basis of man, God, life, and motion. It corresponds to fire because fire can build or destroy life. It is the great catalyst and transformer of creation. Earth, natural sciences, the systematized study of nature and the physical world. This includes zoology, botany, chemistry, physics, chaos, geology, ecology, etc. Natural science corresponds to the element of earth because this science deals with the physical world, its properties, and interrelationships. Air, mathematics, the group of sciences including arithmetic, algebra, geometry, calculus, etc., deals with quantities, magnitudes, forms, and their interrelationships, etc. Through the use of Arabic numerals and symbols, So let me run that back because I got choked up. So air, mathematics, the group of sciences including arithmetic, algebra, geometry, calculus, etc., deals with the qualities, magnitudes, forms, and their interrelationships, attributes, etc. through the use of Arabic numerals and symbols. The science of mathematics corresponds to the element of air because it deals with the mind, intellect, and abstract thought of a highly refined and rarefied quality. Water, social sciences, the study of people and how people live together as families, tribes, communities, nations, etc. Essentially, the science of man in society. This includes the sciences now known as sociology, anthropology, psycho- psychology, political science, economics, etc. The social sciences correspond to the element of water. Man and his interrelationships within society should flow smoothly like water. In the same way, water always seeks its own level and tends to fill every niche. So people seek the social interaction of other people and tends to fill every social economic niche in history. Thus, by the study of these four areas of Moorish science and the integration of this ongoing study in one's life, one will address the four elemental needs of man, symbolized by the four essential elements of earth, air, water, and fire. Many disciplines and ways of life today only address one or the other of the four elements, but very few, if any, address all four in and of themselves and must be combined with other disciplines in order to be complete. Moorish science seeks to be a complete way of life addressing all four elements of man and life in this universe. As mentioned above, as mentioned in the previous issue, our Moorish ancestors consider man to be an exact replica or model of God and the universe, only one on a smaller scale. Man was considered to be the microcosm, small scale copy of the macrocosm, God and universe. This is recorded in religion as man being made in the image and likeness of God. Since the greater or macrocosm usually affects the lesser or microcosm to a greater degree, we look to the greater to see what is in store for the lesser. This is important part of Moorish cosmology or the Moorish paradigm. Cosmology is a combination of cosmos, meaning world or universe, and logi, meaning logic or science. Webster's Unabridged Dictionary defines cosmos and cosmology as cosmos, a combining form meaning world, universe. Cosmology, theory or philosophy of the nature and principles of the universe. Moorish science or Moorish cosmology is based on the Zodiac Wheel, which is its key. It is the greatest invention and gift given by the Moors to the human family of the planet Earth. 360 degrees circle of the Zodiac Wheel is the universal stage on which the whole drama of man, God, and the universe is played out. It is ingenious in its simplicity and incredible in the far reach of its applications. I refer to this science as Moorish cosmology, Moorish science, or in the science of the zodiac. or the science of the zodiac, as opposed to astrology due to the commercialization and negative connotations that have become attached to the word astrology. In reality, astrology means astrologic, the science logy of the stars or heavens, astro. So the science of the heavens, astrology. Okay. The basis of the world, the basis of the whole Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition is the zodiac, because the priesthood in all three religions hid this fact from the masses. The masses are ignorant of this relationship and will fight this truth tooth and nail, unfortunately, to their own detriment. The priesthood in all three religions forbade the science of the zodiac and still do because it is such a threat to their power. One who understands the science of the zodiac will possess the master key to understand and unlocking the mysteries of life and will be well qualified to navigate the course of their own life without the need of the priesthood or religious dogma. Let us look at this gift of the ancient Moors to the human family of the planet Earth. The Zodiac Wheel is a 360-degree circle divided into 12 equal parts of 30 degrees each. The question then may arise, why divide the circle into 12 equal parts and not some other number? Herein lies the beauty and the basis of the Zodiac Wheel. Since ancient times, the circle has always been used to symbolize the all, the supreme oneness, the undifferentiated universe, also called the circle of life. The word zo or zoo in the word zodiac means animal or life forms. Thus, our Moorish ancestors realized that to understand the circle is to understand life. In order to analyze the circle of life, you must break it down and understand all its parts and their interrelationship. The first and most simple breakdown of the universe and life, the circle, is into two equal but opposite parts, male and female, positive and negative, yin and yang, etc. The number two is the number of duality and polarity. In religion, this was Islam Amaru. In
Islam.
religion, this was devolved into God and the devil, good and evil, portrayed as conflicting instead of complementing one another. In the science of the zodiac, these two parts of the whole or circle is referred to as positive and negative. 1 second. Positive and negative, yin and yang, etc. Okay, that's clicking, that's clicking. The number two is the number of duality and polarity. In religion, this was devolved into God and the devil, good and evil, portrayed as conflicting instead of complementing one another. In the science of the zodiac, these two parts of the whole or circle is referred to as positive and negative polarity or masculine and feminine gender. The next logical step would be to divide the circle into three equal parts. This is the three phases of life and existence: a beginning, a middle, and end. In religion, this is called the triune God, or three gods in one. In Hindu, this is God, the creator, or Brahma, sustainer, Vishnu, and destroyer, Shiva. In Christianity, this is called God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. In the science of the zodiac, these three phases are called cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The next and last step necessary to fully understand the circle would be to divide the circle into four equal parts. In the science of the zodiac, these four equal parts correspond to the four essential elements that compose the universe: earth, air, water, and fire. Thus, by geometrically dividing a circle by 2, then 3, and then by 4, you have the minimum that is necessary to break down and understand every possible angle and measurement of the circle. When you divide by 2, you get polarity or gender. When you divide by 3, you get the three phases of life. And when you divide by 4, you get the four essential elements of life and the universe. Mathematically, there are only 12 possible combinations of polarity, phase, and element. This is the reason why the Zodiac Wheel is broken down into 12 equal parts. By doing such, you cover all the possible combinations forming the basis of life. Below is a chart showing the 12 combinations of life: polarity, phase, and element, and the logic of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Here's a schematic of the sign, symbol, polarity, phase, and element. In this chart, you have the sign, and next to it, you have the symbol for the sign. Then you have the polarity, phase, element. This comprises the zodiac wheel. This is the greatest gift of the ancient Moors, Chaldeans, to the humanity, or to humanity. Try to memorize every aspect of this chart, since it is based on logic or astrologics. This would be easy, or this should be easy. So here's a schematic. That's an interesting one, actually. I've never seen it like that. Y'all seen it like this before? Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it like that. I'm about to definitely go back and rewind this one. You ever seen that?
No, I never seen one like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Nah,
That's interesting.
looks like all old school. like a
Yeah,
like an ancient.
yeah.
I don't
It's interesting.
very
I'm gonna run this back. Notice in the previous chart, in the picture above, the polarity alternates from positive to negative in succession all the way to the end. Positive, negative, and so on. There are 6 positive or masculine signs and 6 negative or feminine signs. Positive or masculine polarity or gender is energy or matter spiraling outward, or an outrushing vortex like a sun. Negative or feminine polarity or gender is energy or matter spiraling inward, or an inward rushing vortex like a black hole. There are deeper aspects of this which we will explore in later issues. Also notice that the phases go cardinal, fixed, mutable, then again, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, and so on. The cardinal signs signal the beginning of the seasons, thus corresponds to spring, Cancer, summer, Libra, autumn or fall, and Capricorn, winter. Cardinal means beginning, in this case, the beginning of the seasons. The fixed signs correspond to when the seasons are locked or fixed in. Another schematic. High 12. Look at the rising sun. Low 12. The setting, rising and setting. It's interesting, these schematics. The fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are the four beasts of the Bible who were said to have the likeness of man. Aquarius, a bull, Taurus, a lion, Leo, and an eagle, Scorpio. The scorpion, which also symbolized by a serpent, as well as definitely a typo. Last but not least, you have the four elements. See the chart above. Notice that they go fire, earth, air, then water. Fire, earth, air, and then water. Fire, earth, air, then water. Thus, it could be seen that the 12 signs or divisions of the Zodiac Wheel are based on the 12 combinations of the life principles and is based on science and mathematics or facts, and not superstition or emotional religious mystery. 360 degrees, 30 degrees, polarity, the three phases of life, the four elements are facts, realities, and not mere belief or opinion, the basis of religious mystery. Thus, the wise Moors navigated the course of their lives and the seven seas based on facts, science, and reality as opposed to religious mystery, belief, and superstition. I can prove to you that everything in the universe has polarity, or that 360 degree, 12 equals, or divided by 12 equals 30 degrees, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But you can prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt but you cannot prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that Moses wrote the first 12 books of the Bible. Thus, the Moors in this day and time must once again navigate our lives and our nation utilizing natural science, mathematics, social science, and spirituality, as opposed to religious mystery, superstition, and ignorance. Another schematic. The head, the kidneys, the stomach, the feet.
Hey, what book is this? Sorry to cut you off.
It's called Moorish. It's all good. Moorish Paradigm, book 3. It's a series. I believe it's like 12 books.
Yeah, I ended up drawing this at work a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of similar to that.
Oh yeah, look like
Wow.
a lot of Egypt book.
Yeah, I got the book finally too. I just couldn't make it to the temple this Sunday, and then this Sunday coming up, I'm going to Oregon, so I can't make it this Sunday either. But I'll be there next week.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. But yeah, man,
I'll be up here just bored drawing, man. I'll be on it. You know, I leave this up here for my coworkers as well, so they can just take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about ready to get mine done, so I can try to see if I can figure it out based on what we learned.
Yeah.
But does this correspond? Is this Pisces right here?
All right, let me look.
That's this Pisces out here.
Pisces always got the one where it's kind of curved, so that's how you know the difference between it and Gemini. Gemini is straightforward; it's straight up and down.
Which one is this?
Well, which one are you looking at? That's Pisces.
Okay, because I know y'all. That's the feet, right? Y'all the feet.
That's yeah, it's supposed to be the feet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's right.
So this would
Yeah.
be it's Aries then, right? Because it's the head.
Yeah, but it's always going the opposite way. Okay, I see it now. It's going left.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, how is it showing the feet already? But yeah, no, that's right. And then, Gemini is the lungs and the arms. Aries is the cerebrum.
So it's going like this. Okay. It's going
And
like
then
that.
Taurus is the cerebellum. So the bull, the cerebellum. It's also the shoulders. I know Taurus is the shoulders too as well. And what they got there, the throat.
The throat, yeah, for Taurus, yeah.
Yeah, it's all that's all right there. Yep. That's why I drew on my paper and everything. I've been looking into it. Santos Bonacci did a great video on this for sure.
Yeah. He go heavy on this. This his specialty.
Yeah, this is what he loves for sure.
Yeah, he like talking about the ecliptic and the sun and all that.
All the cardinal signs, fixed signs, and muted signs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right.
Let's see. So the Zodiac Wheel is the foundation or master key of civilization and can be applied to every sphere of human activity, including government. Here you see it applied to the human body, going from Aries, which rules the head, to Pisces, which rules the feet. So let us reacquire the discarded stone of our ancestors, the Zodiac Wheel, and let us once again make it the head of the cornerstone of the New World Order. The Zodiac Wheel knows no hatred or prejudice, for it spins equally above the head of everyone, regardless of race, color, creed, gender. Let us use these mathematical and scientific tools to resolve our problems, minus religious or political wars. 360 degrees and 30 degrees is 360 degrees and 30 degrees, whether you are Christian or Muslim, Jew, Asiatic, European, socialist, capitalist, etc. In later issues of the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm, we will look deeper into the zodiac and how it can be applied to various aspects of life, such as government. Now, we will look at different ways in which the Moorish science of the zodiac can be and has been applied in the past as well as the present. Moorish civilization or applied science. The sign of Aries, for instance, is said to be very outgoing, pioneering, and enthusiastic, sometimes headstrong and foolhardy. This is not because these energies are emanating from constellation called Aries. These qualities of Aries come from the fact that its polarity is positive, giving it an outgoing, extroverted disposition. Its phase is cardinal, from whence derives the qualities of pioneering and leadership. And its element is fire, which gives Aries its enthusiastic and energetic qualities. The constellation or group of stars called Aries were just a marker that happened to mark the time when the sun was manifesting these qualities. So these constellations are just star alignments. So that's interesting. You look at it like that. Okay. When the zodiac, as we know it, took its present form. In other words, at the time when the zodiac took its present form, the vernal equinox was when the sun was in front of the constellation called Aries. Equinox means that there was an equal number of daylight and night hours. So it'd be like, yeah, like 11 hours of daytime, 11 hours of nighttime, the example. Many of you may have heard the saying that this is the age of Aquarius, but few really understand what this means. Let us look into what is meant by these various ages, such as the age of Aquarius. The vernal equinox does not always stay the same because of the 23.5 degree tilt of the Earth's axis. The vernal equinox slides back 1 degree. No, the vernal equinox slides back 1 sign every 2,160 years. This 2,160-year period is what is known as an age. The 2,160-year period when the vernal equinox was in the sign of Aries, that age was called the age of Aries. It says in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, page 6, we measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. An age had passed. The gate unto another flies open at the age touch of time. This is the preparation age of soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, of God, Allah, and man. 1886, the year Noble Jew Ali was born, was right on the cusp, boundary lines between the 12 signs, marking the transition from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. That's heavy. So here are some approximate dates that correspond to the ages. So Aquarius, 1887, 4047, Pisces, the Piscean age. That's interesting. So the age of Aquarius, we're going to be in the age of Aquarius into the year 4047. That's interesting. So we entered in the age of Aquarius in 1887. So that give you some context to see like how long these ages were. So it went from the Taurus to the Aries to Piscean to the now we in Aquarius. That's interesting right there. It's good to see a visual of that. A lot of people they don't understand like what's the age of this mean, or how long is it? What energies are behind this age? What's that mean? So I'm glad that the book is breaking that down like that. That's awesome. The age of Aquarius began approximately in 1886. The 2,160-year period before that, beginning in 273 BC, was the age of Pisces. 2,160 years before that, the age of Aries began, whose time was between 2433 BC and 273 BC. The age of Taurus was between 44,593 BC and 2433 BC. Since the present zodiac and month scheme has the vernal equinox in the sign of Aries, we can say that the present zodiac must have originated sometime between 2433 BC and 1 BC, when the vernal equinox took place while the sun was in the constellation of Aries. During the age of Aries, the cataclysms of 1500 BC took place. It was most likely after this cataclysm that the modern Zodiac Wheel took shape, and is most likely a readjustment of an even older zodiac readjusted due to the cataclysms of the, let's say, 1500 BC. The transition from the age of Aries, the ram, to Taurus, the bull, is symbolized in the Bible, where Moses says that he represented I am that I am. I am is the key word of the sun Aries. See the previous age. Also, the golden calf that Moses was upset about symbolized the age of Taurus, the Apis bull of Egypt, which they were symbolically leaving behind in Exodus. That's interesting right there. The sacred symbol of the kings and the ancient empires was the bull. This is the period, the age of Taurus, when kingship and the rule of men first became global, a patriarchal age. The transition from Aries, the ram, to Pisces, the fish, is symbolized by Jesus and the miracle involving the fish and the loaf of bread. Fish symbolize the age of Pisces, and the bread is taken from the sign of Virgo. Wow. Which is opposite of the sign of Pisces. That's heavy. The sign of Virgo is symbolized by a virgin holding wheat in her hand. Hence, hence the loaf of bread. The Virgin Mary also symbolized Virgo, the virgin. Wow. By the way, if a child is conceived on December 25th, it will be born 9 months later in the sign of the Virgin or Virgo, hence the so-called virgin birth. Wow. I don't know what the zodiac ages. I don't know what I got that looking crazy. The secret and hidden key to the Bible is the Zodiac Wheel. The 12 tribes of Israel are the 12 signs of the zodiac. Wow, that's heavy right there. Israel means Is or Isis, which is the moon. Ra, the sun. El equals star. Thus, Israel means symbolically the sun, moon, and as above, so below. First, we may take Israel as perhaps the most apt and comprehensive in its etymology. This word is essentially astrological, compounded of the Egyptian Ra, sun, deified as Osiris, and the Arabic El or El, which is star. Whence, Osiris El or Israel, meaning a belt or land of the heavens. The 12 tribes of which compare to the number of constellations that environ the ecliptic and through which the sun makes this annual circuit. In support of Israel as the land of the sun and stars may be cited in Exodus 34, chapter 23. Thrice in the year shall all thy males appear before Adonis, or the sun, the eternal, the God, whatever, but you get the point. Jesus and the 12 disciples symbolize the sun and the 12 zodiac signs. The 4 fixed signs symbolize the 4 gospels and their alleged writers, as well as the 4 beasts in the book of Revelations. Jesus' life, in fact, is no more than the solar cycle, the crucifixion of the plant and animal life in fall and winter, its resurrection in the spring or Easter, and the ascent into heaven, summer. The name holy and Holy Bible comes from the word helios, meaning sun, and biblio, meaning book. So that would mean a sun book. Holy Bible means sun book. Thus, the Holy Bible translates into sun book. Okay, we have it. A couple schematics, zodiac signs, Arabic. This would be the Quran. Okay, this is Surah. So this would be like one of the. So this is not the Circle 7. It's like a Quran that, the general one that flies around heavy like the Bible, but it's still talking about zodiac signs in that dogmatic one. But like I say, it's truth in the Bible and in that Quran, as we can see right here. This is Surah. So talking about the zodiac signs in the sky, but one that witnesses and the subject of the witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Talk about suns and stars. Wouldn't it? Yeah, it's all right there. See, that's my next mission. I want to get a Quran and break it down, like how we pull the truth out the Bible. I want to pull the truth out that other Quran. You know what I mean? That'll be heavy. Let's see. In the Holy Quran, there is the Surah. And see, the Surah is a book in this Quran, but when you read the Jews of Muslim Spain, when the Surah was an academy, and all the hybrids go to that academy to seek clarification of the holy books. The people they were seeking clarification from was high priests. Them high priests was Moors. Fast forward to today, it's a book in their Bible for the Pale Arab, or etc. You know, Sunni, Shiite. So you know what I'm saying? I just click right there. Just something just click right now. But that's interesting though. Okay, so in the Holy Quran, there is a surah called Buruj, or the zodiacal sign. According to Yusuf Ali, translation page 1714 in his notes, he says, here is an appeal to three mystic symbols, one of which is the glorious sky with a broad belt of constellations marking the 12 signs of the zodiac. In the Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, on page 5, it says, man will regain his lost estate and heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yet he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. But let him know that the cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the solar stars, are his protector and his guide, and they will lead to victory. That's astrology talk, right? Let me see. The stations of the sun are the 12 signs of the zodiac. Truly, knowledge and the application of the science of the zodiac will lead us to victory. In the book called The Great Seal by Paul Foster Case, he says, the conceptions behind the pattern of government adopted in 1776 are expounded in the lectures, dramatized in the rituals, and summarized in the symbols of Freemasonry. Remember, as discussed in the previous issue, that Freemasonry is a legacy of the Moors passed to the Europeans and formed into speculative Freemasonry by Sir Francis Bacon. No, this is divine right here. I was doing some research on Sir Francis Bacon. I ain't gonna get into that, but this is divine. This is crazy. Remember, as discussed in the previous issue, that Freemasonry is a legacy of the Moors passed to the Europeans and formed into a speculative Freemasonry by Sir Francis Bacon. Speculative Freemasonry is Moorish science based on mathematics and zodiac and geometry. On pages 6 through 7, Case says, Paul Revere began his famous ride after an adjourning meeting at a Masonic lodge. When Benjamin Franklin, scroll down, when Benjamin Franklin helped draft the Declaration of Independence, he was past Grand Master of the Pennsylvania Freemasons. George Washington was a Mason, and so were 12 of his generals. That's crazy because they teach us about Paul Revere in school, but not like this. They never told us he was a Mason. That's interesting. Again, you will notice that George Washington was symbolically the sun, and his 12 generals symbolize the 12 signs of the zodiac, equal 13, or 1 plus 12 equals 13. The number 13 has always symbolized the sun in the 12 zodiac signs. Case says on page 9, quote, throughout the history of the United States, the number 13 has been prominent. The spirit of 76, 7 plus 6 equals 13. July 4th has 13 letters. 13 ships made up the first Navy of the United States, the 13 colonies. On the back of the dollar bill, you have 13 red and white stripes on the shield, 13 arrows, 13 stars in the crest, 13 berries, and 13 leaves in the eagle's right claw, etc. The horoscope of the Declaration of Independence, set up for the hour at which that document was signed on July 4th, 1776, shows the sun in 13 degrees of the sign of Cancer and makes the ascendant 13 degrees in the sign of Scorpio, which sign is represented by the number 13 in the ancient Rosicrucian and Masonic tarot keys. Nothing happens here in America by coincidence. Everything is secretly based on Moorish science, also referred to as Freemasonry. Also, if you look very closely at the web in the background of the dollar bill, you will notice that the web is actually the Zodiac Wheel divided into 12 houses of the Zodiac. The Zodiac is the key to the federal government. I never looked at it like that. Here is the Gematria letter code of Kabbalah. On page 11 of the Great Seal, Case goes on to say, quote, based upon this fact that in Hebrew and Greek, every word is a number, is a method of biblical interpretation called Gematria, a term derived probably from the Greek gematria, whence comes the English noun geometry. Rabbinical commentators or rabbi commentators also on the Old Testament used gematria long before the Christian era. Their precedent was followed by the Kabbalists and Rosicrucianists, who did so much to influence Freemasonry. Gematria is a number, letter code used by the Kabbalists. Notice the zodiac and planetary correspondences in the code. Remember, earlier we remarked that the priesthood of the Judeo-Christian Islamic traditions hid the science of the zodiac and gave the masses religious mystery in its place. They themselves were well versed in the science of the zodiac and communicated with one another in code. Kabbalah is the secret esoteric side of Judaism. Just like Christianity has its Gnostics and Masons, and Islam its Sufi and Ismaili orders. We will go deeper into Kabbalah, Masonry, and Sufism in later issues. As mentioned in the previous issue, when Ben Bay, or Benjamin Banneker, designed Washington, D.C., the science of the zodiac was incorporated in every aspect of his design. In the patterns made by the streets can be found the symbols of all the planets and signs of the zodiac. Also, there are streets that line up with the sun during the vernal equinox, the autumnal equinox, autumnal equinox, the summer solstice, as well as the winter solstice. It is designed to be the universal apprentice hall of the science of government, also referred to as the North Gate, as in the North Star, Polaris. The science of the 12 signs of the zodiac and the 12 combinations of life that it represents is also the basis of the clock. The standard used to measure time, dividing the circle into 12 equal parts, called hours. It is also the basis of the standard of measurement of space called the rule or ruler, which is divided into 12 equal parts called inches. Thus, the 12 combinations of the zodiac is also the foundation of the measurement of time and space. With a remarkably ingenious and consistent gift, the ancient Moors, Chaldeans, Chronos have given the world with the Zodiac Wheel. In the following issue, we will look at how the Moorish theoretical science and the science of the zodiac is applied to government and other areas of life. Now it is time for our Moorish history segment. A little Moorish history of a classic picture. In this issue, Moorish history segment, we'll look at a wide array of bits and pieces of Moorish history that we strive to gradually weave into a coherent whole. This is a very hard undertaking, an undertaking where we are bound to make some mistakes due to the degree to which history has been hidden, suppressed, destroyed, or distorted. I ask that in any area where we may make a mistake to please write me and bring it to my attention. I do not claim to be the historical research. Okay, you're going to we could pick this back up actually, because it's about to cut off. I'll stop recording right here. We'll pick it back up on 22.